Smells like a cocktail lounge. The world traveler. Hi.
Are you extremely refreshed after your very long vacation?
Good morning, Shabbat Shalom. If not, I can do it. Or if Duff. Is that what she's doing? Oh. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Good morning. Rabbi Nico is on vacation this week and next, and so it's my honor to be leading services with Gabby, Michael, and Crystalline. We invite you to participate to the full extent that you are able, because we are merely facilitating the service. Each of us worships in his or her own way. We start on page 192 with Ma Tovu, and this is in preparation for next week, actually, when the Ma Tovu is part of our Torah reading. So pay attention to the words and the melody, of course, which is my composition. Thank you for indulging me. It's a treat to hear my arrangement being brought to life. Ma Tovu, page 192.
Chasdech
welcome ourselves and others into this tent that becomes our Mishkan, our sanctuary. And we start to get ready for our morning of worship by taking inventory of the parts of our body that are working well and those that may be failing us just a little. And so we will ask for healing for those parts later on that are in need. But for right now, let's read together on page 194 in the English. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who forms the human body with skill, creating the body's many pathways and openings. It is well known before your throne of glory that if one of them be wrongly opened or closed, it would be impossible to endure and stand before you. Blessed are you, Adonai, who heals all flesh, working wondrously. Baruch atah Adonai, rofeh chol basar, umafli la'asot. And then we turn a little more inwardly and we pay attention to the soul, which was created and is pure in God's eyes. Elohai Neshama, page 196.
Elohai Neshama, Shetanata bi Tehorai. Elohai Neshama, Shetanata bi Tehorai. Elohai Neshama, Shetanata bi Elohai Neshama, Shenatata bi Tehorai. Elohai Neshama, Shenatata bi Tehorai. Elohai Neshama, Shenatata bi
Praised are you, Adonai, in whose hand is every living soul and the breath of humankind. Baruch atah Adonai, asher beyado nefesh kol chai, v'ruach kol basar ish.
Amen.
We turn to page 198 for daily blessings. Please join us.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who has given the mind the ability to distinguish day from night.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who opens the eyes of the blind.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who frees the captive.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who lifts up the fallen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who stretches the earth over the waters.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who strengthens our steps.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Mabish arumim, Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Hanoten layav koach, Amen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, ozer Yisrael b'gvura. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, ozer Yisrael b'tifara.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to engage with words of Torah. We spend a couple of minutes contemplating the words on page 204 and 205, words of Torah.
Baruch atah Adonai hamelamed Torah le'amo Yisrael.
Amen. Our service continues on page 212 with verses of praise, Pesukei de Zimra.
Baruch shehamar v'haya ha'olam, Baruch hoseh bereshit, Baruch omer ve'oseh, Baruch gozer umekayem, Baruch merachem al haaretz, Baruch merachem al habriot, Baruch meshalem sachar tov lirehav, Baruch ela'ad v'kayam lanetzach, Baruch badeh umatzil, Baruch shemo.
Baruch atah Adonai, melech mehulal batishbachot. Blessed are you, Adonai, sovereign, who is glorified through praise. Page 214, Mizmor Shir LeYom HaShabbat, a psalm, a song for Shabbat.
Mizmor Shir LeYom HaShabbat, Mizmor Shir LeYom HaShabbat, Mizmor Shir LeYom HaShabbat, Elay, 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 elay. Mizmor Shir LeYom HaShabbat, Mizmor Shir LeYom HaShabbat, Mizmor Shir LeYom HaShabbat, Elay, 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 elay. Tov להודות לאדוני, לזמר לשמך העליון, להגיד בבוקר חסדיך, לאמונתך בלילות. עלי עשור ועלי עוול, עלי היגיון וכינון, עלי עשור ועלי עוול, עלי היגיון וכינון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, מזמור שיר ליום השבת, מזמור שיר ליום השבת, אלי, 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 אלי. צדיק כתמר יפרח, כארז בלבנון יזכה, שתולים בבית אדוני, בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו, עול ינובון בשיבה, דשנים רעננים יהיו,
As we started our service with Matovu, recognizing that a tent can become a mishkan, a dwelling place, we turn now to the Ashrei, which endorses the fact that happy are those who dwell in your house, this beautiful sanctuary, or anywhere that we turn into a sanctuary, because in that kind of a place we can praise Adonai. Ashrei, page 215.
יושבי ביתך עוד יהללוך סלע. אשרי יושבי ביתך עוד יהללוך סלע. אשרי העם שככה לו, אשרי העם שאדוני אלוהיו, אשרי העם שככה לו, אשרי העם שאדוני
We continue with the acrostic Ashrei reading on page 215-16 or on page 217 in the English. We will bless you, God, now and always. Hallelujah.
תהילת אדוני ידבר בי ויברך כל בשר שם קודשו לעולם לעולם ועד, ואנחנו נברך יה מעתה ועד עולם. הללויה, הללויה, תהילת אדוני ידבר בי ויברך כל בשר שם קודשו לעולם לעולם ועד, ואנחנו נברך יה מעתה ועד עולם. הללויה, הללויה, ואנחנו נברך יה מעתה ועד עולם. הללויה, הללויה.
It doesn't take only a voice to create hymns of praise. We can do so with a variety of instruments in our minds, or listening to a choir of instruments, an orchestra, a band. And so we turn to Psalm 150 on page 218 and join in Psalm 150, extolling God with every possible instrument known.
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Kol הנשמה תהלל יה, hallelujah, hallelujah. Kol הנשמה תהלל יה, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Kol הנשמה תהלל יה, hallelujah, hallelujah. Kol הנשמה תהלל יה, hallelujah, hallelujah.
Ilufinu, page 220.
אילופינו מלא שירה קיים, ולשוננו רינה כהמון גלב, ושפתותינו שבח כמחווה רקיע, ועינינו מאירות כשמש וכירח, וידינו פרוסות כנשרי שמיים, ורגלינו קלות כאיילות. אין אנחנו מספיקים להודות לך, אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אמותינו. אין אנחנו מספיקים להודות לך, אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו.
O God, your name is holy and exalted. The psalmist has said, "Rejoice in Adonai, you righteous. Praise suits the upright. In the mouths of the upright you will be praised, and in the words of the righteous you will be blessed. In the tongue of the faithful you will be exalted, and in the midst of the holy you will be sanctified. In the multitude of choirs of your people, O the house of Israel, your name is to be glorified in joy in every generation, O our sovereign." Shochet Ad, page 222.
שוכן עד מרום וקדוש שמו, וכתוב רננו צדיקים באדוני, לישרים נבע תהילה, בפי שרים תתהלל, ובדברי צדיקים תתברך, ובלשון חסידים תתרומם, ובקרב קדושים תתקדש, ובמקהלות רבחות עמך בית ישראל, ברינה יתפאר שמך מלכנו, בכל דור ודור, ישתבח שמך לעד מלכנו, האל המלך הגדול והקדוש בשמיים ובארץ, כי לך נאה, אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואימותינו, שהוא שפכה הלב בזמרה, עוז וממשלה, נצח גדולה וגבורה, תהילה ותפארת, קדושה ומלכות, ברכות והודאות, מעתה ועד עולם. ברוך אתה אדוני, אל מלך גדול בתשבחות, אל ההודעות אדון הנפלאות, הבוחר בשירי זמרה, מלך העולמים.
We separate the introductory prayers from the main part of our service with Chatzi Kaddish, page 224.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה.
Amen.
ואלמד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי.
בחייכם וביומכם וחייתך בית ישראל. בגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי המאיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה שמי לקדושה בריחו לילה מן כה בחטא ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תמירן בהמה ואמרו אמן. Please rise for Baruch Hu, page 226. You may be seated. We turn to page 229 and join together in the English. You are praised, who rolls out the rough, raw clay of the universe into delicate vessels of light. And from nothing at all, we could perceive in a world that has turned old, a shimmering new creation right before our eyes, made this moment just for us. How much of life reveals your presence? How much Torah unfolds from each new flower, from each new wave that breaks upon the sea? You are praised, who forms from the clay that cloaks our lives, the delicate vessels which contain our light. Baruch atah Adonai, Yotzer HaMeorot. We talk about God's love for us through Ahava Rabbah, page 230.
attain בליבנו להבין, להבין ולהשכיל לשמוע, ללמוד וללמד, לשמור ולעשות, ולקיים את כל דברי תלמוד תורתך באהבה.
And if you are wearing a talit, I invite you to gather the four corners of your talit with the tzitzit in one hand as we read together at as we read at the bottom of page 230 in the English. Gather us in peace from the four corners of the earth and lead us upright to our land. For you, O God, work wonders. You chose us. Truly you drew us near to your great name, that we might acknowledge you, declaring you one in love. Praised be you, Adonai, who chooses your people Israel in love. Baruch atah Adonai, habocher be'amo Yisrael be'ahava. And as we know we are gathered from the four corners of the earth, it brings us as one together to proclaim God's name in unity and as one. Shema Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
We continue holding those tzitzit as a reminder of how we in turn can love God by the V'ahavta, starting on page 234.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם נאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך.
Page 236 in the middle.
Adonai said to Moses as follows, "Speak to the Israelite people and instruct them to make for themselves fringes on the corners of their garments throughout the ages. Let them attach a cord of blue to the fringe at each corner. That shall be the fringe. Look at it and recall all the commandments of Adonai and observe them, so that you do not follow your heart and eyes in your lustful urge. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת. אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת.
We continue silently on pages 238 and 239. Micha Mocha, page 240. Rock of Israel, rise in support of Israel, and redeem Judah and Israel as you promised. Our Redeemer, Adonai Tzvaot, is your name. Blessed are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. Amen. We rise for the Amidah, beginning on page 242.
Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor והנורא, El Elyon, Gamel Chasadim Tovim, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסד ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה, רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מחכה חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, צומח נופים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שתשאיר אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה ואמר, קדוש 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 אדוני צבאות, מלך כל הארץ.
בשבחך אלוהינו, מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
We continue through page 260 and 261, and you may be seated when you've finished that section.
Shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru,
We now turn to the Torah service on page 362. We will be taking the Torah from the Ark. And if you've never seen the Torah being read, we invite you to come for any of the Torah readings so that you can participate actively. Page 362.
Ein kamocha va'elohim Adonai ve'ichem ma'asecha malchutecha malchut kol העמים וממשלתך בכל כי מציון תצא תורה, כי מציון תצא תורה, ודבר אדוני מירושלים. ברוך שנתן תורה, תורה, ברוך שנתן תורה, תורה, לעמו ישראל בקדושתו. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. אחד אלוהינו, גדול אדוננו, קדוש שמו. גדול אדוני איתי, ונרוממה שמו יחדיו. לך אדוני הגדולה והגבורה והתפארת והנצח וההוד. כי
Shabbat
הוא
shalom.
בשמיים ובארץ, כי הוא
Glad you could stay this
בשמיים
morning.
ובארץ. לך אדוני הממלכה, שבת שלום.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Let's do it in reverse. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Glad you're back. Hello, Boogie. Shabbat shalom. Are you cold? Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. You read the Torah. Shabbat shalom. Next week. Next week. It's too late now. We did that already. Next week. Shabbat shalom. Please be seated. So, this week's Torah portion is Parshat Chukat. Chukat means an ordinance, from the word chok. And I have to admit that I didn't do a lot of preparation for this morning because I did so much for last night. Too bad you weren't here, except for Lila. And Gary. Yes, yes. So you're going to have to go and read, listen to last night's service in order to get the bullet points of what we talked about. But it occurred to me that I used to participate on the mitzvah corps that we had, that we probably still have as well. When there's a funeral, there's a group of us that goes to the person's house where the meal of condolence will be held, and we prepare the house. Now, the more traditional of our members ask for mirrors to be covered. There are a whole set of traditions and minhagim, customs, that can be done in preparation for this meal. We eat things that are round, and traditionally it might be eggs. In the Sephardic tradition, it might be chickpeas. We cover the mirrors so that people are not concerned, the mourners are not concerned with what they look like during that period of Shiva. There are all kinds of things that we do. One of the things that we do is we prepare a bowl of water and towels so that when we return from the cemetery, we can wash ourselves. Not a full shower, mind you, but at least washing the hands. And at cemeteries, there's usually also, if it's a Jewish cemetery, there is an area just as you leave the cemetery where one may wash their hands. So why is that? Cleansing. Where does it come from? This week's Torah portion. This week's Torah portion has the chok, the the rule of the red heifer. With the red heifer, if somebody came in contact with a human corpse, then they were to cleanse themselves, and it was done with the ashes of the red heifer, which is very hard to find. As I said last night, you may be able to find one at the Orange County Fair, which started yesterday, but probably not. That was mixed with a few other ingredients, and it was sprinkled over the person as a way of purification. What's the magic of this ointment? Where did that come from? It's magic. And if you think about it in context with what was going on in that day, in that age, the children of Israel are in the middle of the desert, preparing to go into the promised land. They came in contact with many different tribes and people along the way. And did this purification transform the individual? Probably not. Whether they could even find a red heifer is doubtful. But something happened internally to the people as they conducted these different rituals. When we kindle the lights for Shabbat, does that automatically create Shabbat for us? No. What happens is that it provides a tool for us to take a step closer. Purification is nothing magic. We have another way of purification. What is that called? The mikvah, right. How many of you have ever been to a mikvah? What are some of the experiences you had when you were there? What did that feel like for you? Does anybody care to share? Yeah. Mila. Unforgettable experience. Yes, Sarah. So being connected only via the water to the universe. And it's very interesting, water plays a very important part in this week's Torah portion as well, since in our Parsha, Miriam dies, and she was the one who brought water to the people while they were wandering in the desert through the well. And water is that symbol of life and our connection with God. It is water that we grow with before we ever enter the outside world. So that rebirth process, very interesting. Yes, Carol. Yes. Right. The process of the mikvah creates a rebirth situation where you basically wipe the slate clean and you are as pure as the day you were born. It's interesting because in Genesis, in Bereshit, when Sarai becomes Sarah, the hey, the H, is adding the godly element to her name. Beautiful. Steve.
The week before Steph and I got married, we attended the mikvah, and for each of us, it was that we washed away our past, and we started anew with each other.
Brand new life.
Exactly.
Exactly. It's lovely. Yes, it's very common for men to go to the mikvah before a wedding, before Shabbat, to get that brand new start. Yeah. Yes. They did a mikvah at Naples Bay. Interesting. Thank you, Ben, for sharing that. Yeah. Anyone else? Yes, Nitsa. The idea of mikvah is, well, think about what is the root of the word mikvah in Hebrew? It's a renewal of hope and our connection with God. The rule, the law about the mikvah is that it has to be living water, which means it cannot be a swimming pool. However, in order to create in modern times, since a mikvah you don't always have the luxury of going to Naples Bay or the ocean, I know that some mikvahs will bring a block of ice from the mountains so that there is from a lake or a stream or the ocean that will actually drip water into the pool that is being used. And in that way, they fulfill that mitzvah of having living water. But it is, from what you are all saying, and I have been one time, a group of us went after visiting one of our teenagers from TBT who was dying of leukemia. We went to the mikveh afterwards as a refresh, renew, rebirth after being in that very difficult situation. And it does have that transformative power. The same thing, not that the water actually did something to you, it came from within. It's what your expectations are and what you are able to bring to the experience. Same thing with that red heifer. During those times, a lot of people were doing magic and trying to make things happen. Think back to when Moses was trying to prove his power. He turned the rod into a snake. Same here. The red heifer was able to purify the people, not just the one who had come in contact with the corpse, but actually transform the community so that they could accept this person. It's not easy to come in contact with death. I don't think any of us, even those who work in the medical field, are comfortable with death. When my father was dying, we talked to his oncologist and invited him to come to the funeral. And he said, I can't. That's where I draw the line. I am with the person during life. I cannot be with them in death. And so we use this idea of the red heifer, and also in this parsha, knowing that Aaron and Miriam die, and Moses is confronted with his own mortality, knowing that he will not cross the Jordan and enter into the promised land. Think about what purifies you during your day or on Shabbat. or as we are now about 12 weeks away, I hate to even say it, from that period of time that Gabby is going to start preparing for in the week ahead. So if you would like to join the choir, please see Gabby after services. Or if you would like to chant Torah for High Holy Days or Haftarah. So think about what purifies you. Is it looking out at nature? Is it finding some quiet time for yourself in meditation? Is it having a drink of some kind of magical solution that helps you? Water works well. As we read this morning's Torah portion, think about what purifies you. And again, I invite you to come to the Torah if you've never seen it being read and watch us and participate. We will read Torah now. We, as in you. And those, I'm actually not reading Torah for one of the few weeks. Who's calling? I can call Torah. Do you have? No, it was. Thank you. Oh, you're so good, Lila. What would we do?
Yeah, and here's the readers if you want.
Okay. Yamdu Binyamin Ganesha ben Shmarayahu Malka bat Jorge Burton Silver and Ludmila Zerlin. Chanting Torah will be Gabby Newman. Oh, you can hold it there. Thank you, Steve. You can be the caller for the page number. What page? 1145 in your Torah books. Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. V'yidaber Adonai el Moshe ve'el Aharon lemor. Zot chukat haTorah asher tziva Adonai lemor. Daber el bnei Yisrael ve'yichu elecha farah aduma temima asher en ba mum asher lo ala aleha ol ונתתם אותה אל אלעזר הכהן והוציא אותה אל מחוץ למחנה ושחט אותה לפניו.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tahenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yamdu Avraham ben Herschel, Uminda bat Yechiel v'Rachel, Chuck and Mindy Gladstein. Chanting will be Sarah Douglas.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol
והיזהר אל נוכח פני אוהל מועד מדמה 7 פעמים וזרף את הפרה לעיניו את אורה ואת בשרה ואת דמה הפרשה ישרוף ולקח הכהן את ארץ ויזוב ושני תולר והשליך אל תוך שרפת הפרה.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו.
Baruch
אתה אדוני
Notain HaTorah. Amen. Yamdu Ephraim ben Shlomo, Miriam bat Zavaruth, Gary Gruber, Karen Guth, and chanting is Daphna Gutterman.
Baruch Adonai Hamborah.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Vahed.
Baruch Adonai Hamborah Le'olam Vaed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Hamim V'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Notein HaTorah.
Amen.
אמן. וכיבס בגדיו הכהן, ורחץ בשרו במים, ואחר יבוא אל המחנה, וטמא הכהן עד הערב, והשורף אותה יכבס בגדיו במים, ורחץ בשרו במים, וטמא עד הערב, ואסף איש טהור את אפר הפרה והניח אותה מחוץ למחנה במקום טהור, והייתה לעדת בני ישראל למשמרת לימי נידה חטאתי.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu torat emet v'chayei olam nota b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai notein haTorah.
Amen.
Yamdu Yisrael Gabriel ben Baruch Halevi, Cyril Leah Nechuma, Moshe ben Yechiel Vasilka, Steve Velasco, Marvin Rosenberg, and chanting is Nitza Hennig.
Baruch Adonai Havarach.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Vahed.
Baruch Adonai Havarach Le'olam Vaed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Hamim V'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Notein HaTorah.
Amen.
ויאמר אדוני אל משה, אל תירא אותו, כי בידך נתתי אותו, ואת כל עמו, ואת ארצו, ועשית לו כאשר עשית לסיחון מלך האמורי, אשר יושב בחשבון, ויכו אותו ואת בניו, ואת כל עמו עד בלתי, השאיר לו שריד, וירשו את ארצו, וייסעו בני ישראל, ויחנו בערבות מואב, מעבר לירדן יריחו.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'hayei olam notah b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. While the Torah is still out, we offer a Misha Berach for those participating in our Torah service. So if you were called to the Torah or chanted Torah, please rise. Misha Berach, Avotenu v'Imotenu, Avraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, v'Leah. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless those who have been called to the Torah to honor God in Torah. May they merit from the Holy One of blessing, protection, rescue from any trouble or distress, and from any illness, minor or serious. May God send blessing and success their way in every endeavor, together with all Israel, and let us say Amen. You may be seated. We ask for prayers of healing for those suffering from illness, physically, spiritually, those suffering from addictions. If you have a name that you would like to bring into our sanctuary, please mention those.
Rabbi Art Levine.
Rita Gordon, Oren Ben Miriam. Yishaberach, Avraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, v'Leah. May the Holy One bless and heal those who are ill. May the Holy One be filled with compassion for their health, to be restored and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit, and let us say Amen. We rise for the lifting of the Torah. As the Torah is lifted, we point with our pinkies so that it's not impolite, but we say, this is the Torah.
וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה. תורה, 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 ציווה לנו משה. תורה, 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 ציווה לנו משה. תורה, 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 ציווה לנו משה. תורה, 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 ציווה לנו משה. תורה, 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 ציווה לנו משה. תורה, 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 ציווה לנו משה.
You may be seated. So last week, Rabbi Nico said to me before he left, he said, I'm going to mess you up. I said, why? He said, because I'm not going to do the Pirkei Avot this week. I'm going to postpone it so that you do it next week. And these are not the easiest of two chapters that we are doing. And he was right. But we can unravel this together, I'm sure. And actually last night, Gabby helped me interpret the first one. So let's see if we have additional insights. So we're in chapter 4 of Pirkei Avot, the sayings of our ancestors, and we are in verse 14. And it says, Rabbi Nehorai says, exile yourself, and I'm not sure it actually says exile, although it does say goleh. Exile yourself to a place of Torah, and do not say that it will follow after you, that your colleagues will make it yours. Do not rely on your understanding. What is this all about? Remember, we talked in past weeks, take it back a couple of weeks, we talked about the crown of a good name, and the crown of a good name exceeds everything else. Those are the different names that we have. So what does this mean? Exile yourself to a place of Torah. Torah is? You go to the place where you go to any place where the Torah is. Or you go to the place where any Torah is. Which one did you mean? That's it. Got it. Yes. Jane, what are you thinking?
Exile to me means separation. So separate yourself from your home and go to where the Torah is. And leave all that other stuff behind it.
And what are you defining as Torah? Is it the scroll that we just took out of the ark, or?
I was thinking of it as being, the scroll that you study.
Uh-huh.
But, so it is rather literal that way, but perhaps it could mean.
Because in Hebrew there are no capital letters. You know that. So what do we define as Torah? Ben? Oh, wait. So that Torah actually creates a fence around your life so that it protects you from what? Outsiders? The spirit of Torah. Okay, Steve, what were you going to say?
I would put myself in the mind of the period of when this was created, which was 1,015 years ago.
So context.
So in the context of that, exile yourself to a place of Torah, to me then, given that period, would mean go to a mishkan, go to a place where people study Torah, and then it's not going to follow you. You need to rely on the people around you, and it's not your understanding, but it's the collective understanding of the folks around you as to what does it really mean and how do you understand what's being said.
Right. That's great. So go to a Beit Midrash. Do not take it upon yourself to know everything yourself. It's like previous chapters have taught us. Don't be the only judge. Rely on your colleagues.
Yeah, my interpretation is pretty much that.
Must be right then.
Right? We have a 2 majority. So I thought about word choice and like the wording of this, and I feel like it's an if-then statement, kind of like if you, okay, so first of all, exile yourself. Like I'm seeing it as if you exile yourself to a place of Torah, meaning if you're on Torah Island and it's just you and that Torah living it up, like don't expect that the Torah will follow after you because you're just bubbling in your own thoughts, and that's not helpful. And it says, or that your colleagues will make it yours because like they have their own ideas. They aren't going to follow your island of Torah thought. And it says, do not rely on your understanding. So
Right.
that adds
Exactly.
to the don't rely on yourself. Include other people in your studies.
Right. And if you only stay within that secluded community of Torah and don't participate in the rest of the land, think of a shtetl. We were talking, Rabbi Nico and I were talking about the idea of a shtetl, and what that might mean. And I said, I don't think that people in their 20s and 30s can really relate to what the concept of a shtetl might be like, as opposed to when I was a child and all of my aunts and uncles and my parents all lived on the same street, and it felt like we could be in each other's homes and we knew everybody. There were no barriers between the houses or the apartments. We were out on the streets playing until the lights went on the street. That's when we were called home. And we have certain streets, if a realtor calls the temple and says, I want to know where the Jewish neighborhoods are. So we can tell them, well, we have a concentration of members living on Mountain View here. We have 2 families, 3 families living there. And we have some other families who live in Placentia in this area, or Brea, or not too many live in my neighborhood on the southwest side. There are a few families who live in your neighborhood, not too far from you. There used to be more. We know which schools have higher populations of Jewish students, but to separate yourself completely and not be exposed to what goes on around you does not help you to live a full life, but rather rely on those around you to balance things out and give you a proper perspective. I love what you said about that. Rabbi Yanai says, we do not have the ability to explain the tranquility of the wicked or even the suffering of the righteous. Rabbi Matya ben Harash says, be the first to greet every person and be the tail to lions, and do not be the head to foxes. So there are 2 different, there's a fairy tale in this last part, I think. But in the first part, who read the book When Bad Things Happen to Good People? So we don't have the ability to understand why those who seem to be leading a good life, who are doing all the right things, fall ill. Carol and I have worked with those who are trying to lose weight. They do everything right. They eat exactly according to plan, and they get on the scale and they've gained weight. It's not fair. The program doesn't work. In the case of why bad things happen to good people, then God's not doing the right thing. It's God's fault. Who's to know? What are your thoughts about this first part? It's not ours to understand. Yes, Jane. We don't know why. Why do the good people not get away with running the red light? There was a woman who has done only one thing bad in her whole life. She put her children in a blow-up pool and had it on top of her car and was driving along. She got arrested. The only thing she's ever done wrong in her life. Well, yeah, not the smartest thing, but what's wrong with what happened? She got caught. If only good things happen to good people, then all of those bad people would find it easy to do only good things. But just like a child who's basically trying to find his or her way in the world, we try and push the boundaries. How much can I get away with before I'll get caught? How much cookies and cake can I eat before the scale catches up with me? If I got away with it this week, maybe I can do it again. Yeah, Gabby, what were you going to say?
I was just thinking that it kind of sounds like, to me, this is like the Pirkei Avot version of stuff happens.
Yeah?
And, like, it's not blaming anybody. It's literally just a statement. Like, we don't...
We cannot understand why these things happen.
But they're still going to happen.
They do.
So, like, it's...
They do. If everybody yielded to everybody else, there would not be a need for stoplights and stop signs. But the reality is that we don't. We are not rational animals. We have to be taught. Okay, the second part of this, which reminds me of a fairy tale of the crocodile. Be the first to greet every person, and be the tail to lions, and do not be a head to foxes. There are 3 parts to this sentence. Well-known expression. How is it usually used? It's better to follow wise people. Okay. Yeah. Daphne. Older and that way, good, smarter. For the fox. It's a great way to look at it. It's safer to be on the tail so that you don't stick your nose into the place, and you don't want to be the first one always in a dangerous situation. Being on the front line, you're playing soccer even. If you're a forward, you're doing the majority of the work. You're the one who's the aggressor, rather than being a halfback or a fullback where you're protecting the team. And I understand what you're saying, where it's the question of should you... Where do you learn more? But the fox is cunning. Okay. So you have to make a decision. Do you want to learn from someone so that you're at the tail, but some of that may actually be harder physically if you are not physically capable. If you're younger, there's certain developmental traits that do not work, as opposed to if you are on the older side that you can actually excel. Yeah, Ben. Mm-hmm. True. If you think, I just had this thought and I can't resist, between Gabby and me, I'm a dog person Gabby's a cat person. Tell me which species is smarter? The cats. I have to yield to the cat people. And the lion is a cat, and the fox comes from. They can be trained, but cats don't need.
Cats train you.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Correct. That is very wise. Our tradition says, I have learned much from my teachers, more from my colleagues, but the most from my students. So that's so true. In bringing it all back, be the first to greet every person. If you look around the room, is there somebody in this room who you do not know? If so, what is your job?
Greet them.
To greet them. We will do so and to include them. So please be the one to greet somebody, bring them into our community, and that way you can be the tail of the lion and the head of the fox. So much for our Torah study this morning. We rise as we return to the Torah, to the Ark, page 374. Thank you. The Torah is a tree of life to those who hold it close to them.
Eitz chaim hi,
Machzikim ba, v'tomcheha, me'ushar deracheha, darchenom, v'chol netivoteha, Shalom, Hashivenu Adonai, Elecha v'nashuva, Chadesh yameinu kekedem. Page 586, Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'teged l'yotze breshit, shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot, velo asanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu karem, v'goralenu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu v'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz v'yom hahu v'yom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo 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 echad.
You may be seated. We now take a moment to think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom have been drawn into our hearts with our own. If there is a name of somebody who you have lost within the last 7 days during the Shiva period, please rise. If you have lost somebody in the last 30 days, the Shloshim period, please rise. Stand. If you are within the first year of mourning, please rise. Please share. If you're observing a yard site this week, please rise. If it is your custom to rise with the mourners and support them, you may do so. We find the Kaddish on page 598, and we join our mourners. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon v'yomechon, uv'chayei dechol beit Israel, ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach leolam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudusha brichu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlomo Rabbah min shmaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say amen. You may be seated. Just a couple of announcements for things that are coming up on our calendar in the next couple of weeks. This Monday, we have a men's club meeting. Dr. David Chapman will be our guest speaker, speaking about issues related to gastroenterology. So if you have tummy issues or anticipate them in the next however many years, right? Some things come, some things go, right? So what is it, 6 o'clock? 6 o'clock p.m., 6:30. Thank you. Is it open to men only? Okay, so talk to Steve after services. And then on the 26th, which is a week from next Friday, TBT and Temple Beth Shalom are combining for a Shabbat celebration. We will be getting together at 6 o'clock at Temple Beth Shalom. Steve, you won't have to decide which service to go to. Nice. It is almost walking distance for you. We have a couple of different members who belong to both shuls, which is really nice. So we get together, and our tefillah team, Gabby, Michael, Rabbi, and Temple Beth Shalom's tefillah team are getting together and planning a wonderful Shabbat celebration for us. So we hope you will join us for that. I think, are there any other announcements? Yes, Gary. So mitzvah meals, 9 o'clock, Temple Beth Shalom tomorrow. Thank you so much. Okay, so if you can't make it this Sunday, or you love it so much that you'll do it 2 weeks in a row, please join us. It's really a wonderful, I have not been able to do it because I have another commitment on Sunday mornings, but it's a wonderful way for us to be a community and share the wealth of the bounty of what we do have with those in need. So we conclude our service with Adon Olam, page 625. Let us stand up and join together as a community, as a congregation. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yetzir Nivra Le'ed Nasa B'chefzo Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Ve'acharei Kichlot HaKol Levado Yimnoch Nora Ve'hu Haya Ve'hu Ove Ve'hu Yeh B'Tikvah
hara, ve'hu yeh b'tifara. Ve'hu echad ve'en sheni, להמשיכו להכבירה, בלי ראשית בלי תכלית, ולא העוז והמשרה, ולא העוז והמשרה. והוא הניף וחי גואלי, בצור חבלי בעת צרה, והוא ניסי ומנוסי, מנת כוסי ביום אקרא, מנת כוסי ביום אקרא, בידו אפקיד רוחי, בעת אישן והעירה, ועם רוחי גוויעתי, אדוני לי ולא אירא, אדוני לי ולא אירא.
Shabbat Shalom. Please join us for Kiddush and Motzi.